Hello everyone and welcome back to another average review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends Astonishing X-Men Cyclops from the Chad Build-A-Figure wave. Let's start off with the sculpt on this guy. This Cyclops is built off of the Vulcan body mold, same as this Black Panther was. But while Black Panther only had new gloves and boots and a belt and, just extra stuff, the body just remains the same on him. It's a very nice, muscular, but still flat Legends body. Meanwhile, Cyclops has had a bunch of extra fabric tugs and lines sculpted on for the gold parts. Same for the legs. You can see some extra fabric tugs, this line running down the middle, and of course the gold lines. There's these little gold things that are separate pieces from both the legs and the actual boot right here. We have this gold strap right above the foot, and also this gold strap right above the wrists. Now, another thing that's new is this very nice-looking Cyclops head sculpt. Hasbro's recent Marvel Legends faces, due to the face print technology, looks fantastic. I also like the smoking visor. That's not something that's on a lot of Cyclops figures, and I think it looks really cool. One problem with mine, though, there's a quality control issue. The visor, the red piece on the visor isn't exactly all the way in, so it's sticking out a little. That's kind of annoying. On the back, we can see that the line work continues along with the sculpting. I like the gold paint they used for the lines, the belt, and, the straps and stuff. It's very nice gold paint. Fairly decent dark blue. Although, I do have one problem with this design, the visor. I don't really get why it's silver instead of gold. I kind of understand why, so that it looks different. But I don't know, I feel like it might look better gold and also, more consistent with the rest of the design. Other than that, though, this is a very nicely sculpted, sort of new version of the Vulcan body that definitely isn't going to get reused. At least, the torso and the thighs and stuff, because of the fact that these gold lines are also sculpted on, not just painted. Now let's move on to articulation, in which this Cyclops is a fairly traditional Marvel Legends. He's got a disc hinge, which allows him to look up like so, and look down, along with spinning his head all the way around. He's got a nab crunch, which lets him arch forward this far, and arch backwards this far. He's got butterfly joints at the shoulders, which move forward and back. Also, the gold paint lines are actually continued on the butterfly joints, which is very nice. He's got arms that can spin around and go up about a little under 90 degrees. Double jointed elbows with a really good bend. And hands that can swivel all the way around and hinge back and forward. He's got a cut at the waist, which allows him to spin around, although it is slightly limited by the fact that there's a belt there. He's got hips that can kick forward and split a fairly decent amount. He's also got a thigh cut, which allows his legs to spin around, and double jointed knees with a decent bend. He's got a boot cut, which lets that spin around, ankles that can hinge forward, backwards, and pivot side to side. Overall, the Vulcan body mold has some really great articulation. I'd say, in terms of both sculpting and articulation, this is probably the best standard Marvel Legends body mold. Now let's move on to the accessories, where unfortunately this Cyclops is kinda lacking. He comes with an alternate open-palmed right hand, and an alternate left hand, which is in the right position to make him fire his optic blast. Unfortunately, unlike most Marvel Legends Cyclopses, this guy doesn't have an alternate head and a blast effect piece so that you can actually have the effect of him, well, firing the optic blast. Although I'd like to note, if you have that optic blast effect piece, then if you just heat up the head in some really hot water and pull this red visor piece out, you can stick the optic blast effect in there. Now for the size comparisons. Here he is next to two fairly standard male and female Marvel Legends, Renew Your Vows Spider-Man and Spinneret. Please note that Renew Your Vows Spider-Man is actually a little taller than most standard 6-inch figures in the Marvel Legends line. For two larger characters, here he is with Thor and Hulk. Thor is from the Thor and Destroyer 2-pack, and Hulk is from the 20th Anniversary Marvel Legends line. But now let's move on to some more character-specific comparisons quickly. For two fellow founding X-Men, here's Cyclops with the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Jean Grey Phoenix on the left, and on the right, the Hasbro Marvel Legends Retro Grey Beast. For two later members of the X-Men, here's Cyclops with the Marvel Legends retro-carded Black Suit Storm on the left, and the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary 2-pack Colossus on the right. Also, I just quickly want to mention, I've always been a big fan of this Colossus figure. It's awesome. Although, for two of the most important members of the X-Men next to Cyclops, here he is with Wolverine on the left, and Professor X from the Fox movies on the right. The Wolverine is a custom version of the brown suit, using the Bone Breaker Wave Wolverine figure. Oh, and before I forget, here's Cyclops with the Marvel Legends Old Man Logan. Although for two X-Men villains, here's Cyclops with the Marvel Select Sabretooth on the left, and the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary 2-pack Juggernaut on the right. This is actually from the same 2-pack as the Colossus from earlier. Although for two far stranger X-Men villains, here's Cyclops with the Marvel Legends Sugarman Build-A-Fig from Age of Apocalypse on the left, and the Marvel Legends Mojo Deluxe on the right. And now, here's Cyclops with the Marvel Legends Kree Sentry Build-A-Fig, since I think it works really well as a substitute for a Sentinel. Since every single Legends scale Sentinel is really, really expensive. Now, these are gonna seem like the most random comparisons to take out right now. The Toy Biz Marvel Legends Series 1 Iron Man on the left, and the Marvel Legends Vance Astro on the right. But the reason I'm taking these two figures out is because both of these figures' main overall body molds, at least I think in the case of Vance Astro, were used for two different Marvel Legends Magnetos. For this one, the Toy Biz Series 3, I believe, Magneto, and for this one, a couple different versions of Magneto. I don't own those, so you're just gonna have to take this as the Magneto comparisons. Now here's a comparison with the leader of the X-Men with the leader of the Avengers. I'd say Captain America is the closest thing the Avengers have to an actual leader. On the left, we have the Toy Biz Face-Off version, and on the right, we have the Marvel Legends 20th Anniversary version. Tradition, here's the astonishing Cyclops with Hitmonkey and Goliath. Now, let's talk about if this figure is worth its price point or not. Overall, this figure has some very great articulation and sculpting, along with scaling really well with other X-Men figures. Unfortunately, this Cyclops figure is very lacking in his accessories, only having the bare essentials, and some might not even consider this the bare essentials. Some would probably say that it would have been necessary to include the optic blast effect head. But, personally, I'm not too bothered by it. It's more of a mild inconvenience. Overall, though, I am very happy with this astonishing Cyclops figure. That name doesn't lie, this figure is fairly astonishing, which is why I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. you can usually find it for $20 to $24 on Amazon. So I'd say if you don't have a Cyclops or you like the astonishing design for him, then I say, yeah, you should pick this guy up. Everyone, have a great day, and good night.